Hey guys, so today I'm filming one of my most requested videos I think ever, and it's kind of random and very specific, but it is what I eat to gain weight, to grow my glutes, to build muscle, yada yada yada, because everyone has been asking me and I didn't know how else to format this video, so I'm literally just going to tell you the foods that I eat. I am a pescatarian, so I eat a little bit of seafood every now and then, mostly when I go out to restaurants because sometimes they don't have a lot of options for me, and the easiest thing for me to do is to just get a seafood dish, even though it ends up being way more expensive. It's fine. So just wanted to let you guys know because there's going to be no meat in this video at all. I also don't have any dairy products because I am lactose intolerant, so that is another huge thing for me. So no cheese or anything like that. I tracked macros for a little over a year, and I haven't tracked macros in about a year, I think. If not a year, it'll be a year soon. So that is how I still structure my diet. Little disclaimer, obviously I'm not a personal trainer, a nutritionist, anything like that. I'm not telling you that this is what you need to eat to gain weight. This is just what I eat. Protein sources is one of the biggest questions that a lot of people have. A lot of people think that you need to have tons and tons of protein in order to gain muscle. And although that may be true for some people, myself personally, I work better on a lower protein diet. So I have probably 90 grams tops every day, and when I first started lifting I had 1 gram per body weight, so that worked for me because I was getting nowhere near enough protein in the beginning, so having it be higher was just kind of a good thing to start with. But now I have it a lot lower, so I'm just going to show you guys my favorite protein sources. So none of these are meat based obviously, but if you do eat meat it would be in this category. So the first thing is eggs. I either get large eggs or extra large eggs, and the macros on most large eggs is going to be 5 fat, 0 carb, and 6 protein. So it's not a lot of protein, but 6 grams of protein in one little thing kind of adds up, and I usually have 3 to 4 eggs a day. Next I have fish. So I love this brand. It is Aquastar. This is one of the brands that is like a trusted brand. It says seafood forever, responsibly sourced. You can go to their website and everything and learn about it. It's one of the best brands that you can get your fish from if that is something that you care about. So this is just Alaskan cod. It's a big fave for me. There's 10 grams of protein in 1 fillet, or 3 ounces. I have some fake beef. This is a big part of my diet. I like the Gardein ones. The Gardein version of the fake meat tastes like hamburger basically, consistency wise. The Wegmans one, it kind of just reminds me of regular fake beef. It's called Don't Have a Cow. And for 3/4 a cup, which is a serving, you have 19 grams of protein, 8 carbs, and 2 grams of fat. So I really like this one. And the other one that I like is the Beyond Meat. That one is delicious, and I believe Morningstar has one that is mixed with beans. That one reminds me a lot more of tofu, so I'm not a huge fan because I kind of want it to be like this consistency. But I do recommend any of those if you are looking for a fake meat substitute. Light Life has a lot of great meatless options. So this is one of my favorites that they have. It is the Gimme Lean sausage. So there are 0 grams of fat, 7 carb, and 7 grams of protein in 2 ounces, which is usually about like a slice. I have Boca burgers. I love Boca burgers. I also love the Morningstar burgers. The original grillers are my favorite. I also like their chicken patties. Those are amazing. There's 15 grams of protein per serving, and then there's also 4.5 grams of fat and 5 carbs. So these are obviously veggie burgers. They're really good. Definitely not the best, but they are the cheapest ones out there. So if you're kind of on a budget, this is a good one to go with. Also, I don't eat this stuff every single day. I usually have a little bit of soy every day, but too much of anything is a bad thing, and soy is one of those things. So if you are sensitive to soy products and you are switching to be vegetarian, plant-based, vegan, whatever it is, or you just want to incorporate it, just slowly go into it because everyone's body reacts a bit differently. My body reacts perfectly fine, so I'm lucky, but not everyone's like that, so just keep that in mind. Another food that I get a lot of my protein from is actually edamame. So if you've never had edamame, it is great. There's 12 grams of protein per half a cup. Which is actually kind of a lot because they're like little baby lima beans basically. That's what they remind me of. There's 7 grams of fat, so it's a great fat source as well, and 9 grams of carbs. My main protein source is actually lentils. So I like yellow lentils, I like red lentils, I like regular lentils, I like green split peas, whatever you want to call them. I think these are technically called yellow split peas. So they always come in like a massive bag. I just rinse my lentils and then I will make them with vegetable broth, and then I'll just add vegetables to it, and it's delicious. So per 1/4 a cup, you have 10 grams of protein. So this starts to add up, and if I am on a lentils kick like I am right now, I usually have a cup of lentils a day, so that's already like 20 grams of protein, and they're really, really good. So I do actually have a video from last year of my lentil soup that I used to make, so I'll have a card on the screen if you guys want to check that out. My last food source for protein is tuna. So it varies which one I pick up. I usually pick up whatever's on sale, but I love the ones that come in the oil because I get a little more fat. So for 2 ounces, you have 2.5 grams of fat, 0 carb, and 11 grams of protein. And there are 2 servings in here, so I always have an entire can of tuna. I don't know when I would ever just eat half a can of tuna. So that is 22 grams of protein in this little tiny can. And last but not least, for protein, I have my protein powder sources. So I'm not a huge protein shake fan. I just don't like drinking them because the consistency kind of grosses me out. But if I am low on protein, which luckily doesn't happen that often, but if I am, I have one of these. So this is the Women's Best vegan protein powder. I'm not too fond of the flavor, so that's why I don't have it that often, but it's latte macchiato. I'm not a huge coffee fan. So in here, you have 25 grams of protein per 40 grams, which is the scooper, which is really great. And then it is 1 gram of fat and 1 gram of carbs, or 1.3 if you want to count the sugar. I cannot have whey protein because of the dairy. I will literally throw up. So I have to have a plant-based protein or a vegan protein powder. And then the other one that I love is the Kaio protein powder. So this one, it comes in the flavor classic chocolate. I believe this is the only one they still have right now. You can get this on Amazon. I'll link it down below if you guys are interested. But it's vegan, non-GMO, gluten-free, dairy-free, and there's no artificial sweeteners. And you get 20 grams of protein in this packet, 11 carb, 2 fat, and there are 4 grams of BCAAs. So my main fat sources are actually pretty simple. The first one is peanut butter. There is a lot of fat in peanuts. So per 2 tablespoons, you have 15 grams of fat, 8 carb, and 7 protein. So this is a great source of protein as well as fat, but I usually use this mostly as a fat source. I'll add this to shakes, or I will just literally eat a spoon of peanut butter. I don't know if I'm the only one who does that, but I really like peanut butter. And then I also use oil daily. So oil has tons of fat in it. I use olive oil and I also use coconut oil. And per 1 tablespoon, there's 120 calories. So you have 14 grams of fat, 0 carb, 0 protein. So this is literally just oil. And I cook all of my vegetables and anything I possibly can with oil so I can bump my calories up. So I usually have like 4 tablespoons of oil a day sometimes. It really depends on what I'm eating, but that is a main thing for me. And the biggest fat source for me, I'm actually out of right now, but it is avocado. I've been on an avocado kick. I don't know what's going on. And avocado is one of the best fat sources that you can possibly get. They're really, really good for you, and they're super high in calories. And our last category for macros is carbs. So these are my top carb sources that I have been having forever now. Like, it's just part of a daily routine. I never don't have one of these sources, to be honest, during the week. So the first one is oats. Oats is something that I think a lot of people forget about. I have oatmeal all the time. I have oats in my smoothies. I love oats. So per half a cup dry, you have 3 grams of fat, 27 carb, and 5 grams of protein. So the thing with macros is that might not seem like a lot, but that starts to add up. And half a cup of oats, if you're adding it to like a smoothie, is nothing. And if you're having oatmeal, that's maybe a bowl of oatmeal. My serving sizes are a bit over the top because I'm trying to gain weight, but you gotta do what you can. I have this blend that I will usually pick up from Wise. That's where I get the majority of my vegetables. majority of my groceries in general, to be honest. So this has broccoli, carrots, green beans, onions, sugar snap peas, and red peppers. And in 3/4 a cup, you have 25 calories. So you have 4 grams of carbs and 1 gram of protein. That's nothing, but 3/4 of a cup of vegetables is pretty filling. So it's always good to get your veggies and your fruit in because they are very, very important for a balanced diet. But I would recommend having them earlier in the day or having them more as like a snack with something, because if you're trying to eat a lot of food, this is going to be a lot of volume and it's going to fill you up a lot quicker than you want it to. So that's a big tip. And then I love fruit. So I have strawberries, bananas, peaches, raspberries, basically everything. This is just a big bag from Walmart that I've been finishing off. In 1 cup, you have 90 calories. So you have 20 grams of carbs and then less than 1 gram of protein. I then have like my rices and noodles. So jasmine rice is a huge carb source for me. I can't remember how many carbs are in a cup of jasmine rice, but I know it's a bit over 300 calories. So that's a big thing that bumps my calories up because I have rice with everything. I have rice usually at least once a day. I also have like macaronis and pastas and ramen because that's a great source of carbs for me, and because the majority of my diet is vegetables, I kind of like to have something with that because I don't just eat bowls of vegetables unless I'm having like a snack. In 3/4 a cup, which is a serving size, dry, it's 180 calories, 1.5 grams of fat, 39 carbs, and 9 grams of protein. And then I also just have this pack of some sort of ramen from H Mart. So for 1 piece, it's just like one of those noodle blocks. You have 1 gram of fat, 36 carbs, and 6 grams of protein. So this is a lot better than like getting the packs of ramen, even though those have tons of calories. They also have tons of sodium. I eat bread. I have bread every single day. I have at least 2 slices of bread every day. And I just pick whatever is on sale. So this is the honey wheat version. I usually get this brand because I can get this for about $2 at Wise because it's always on sale. So for 1 slice of bread, it's 70 calories. You have 1 gram of fat, 13 carb, and 3 protein. So depending on what bread you get, it's going to be very different what your macros are. If you get white bread, you're gonna have tons of carbs, but you're also gonna have tons of sugar. So just look at the macros of the bread that you're picking up if you're picking up bread to achieve a certain goal for your calories. So I have 2 of the beans that I kind of go for here. I usually get black beans or I get the navy beans. So navy beans per half a cup have 17 grams of carbs and 6 grams of protein. And then your regular black beans, these aren't seasoned or anything like that, have 22 grams of carb and 8 grams of protein per half a cup. So this is a great protein and carb source. You can kind of kill 1 bird with 2 stones, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, whatever the saying is. So to finish off this video, I'm going to talk about snacks. I'm actually not a huge snack person. I only have 2 things that I really eat because I try to make my meals super filling, so I'm not in need of snacks. The only times I'll usually have snacks are if I'm like in class, I'll usually have some chips, or if I am home like after I showered, after I ate, I'll finish off the day with some snacks, and they're usually junk food. So this is how I kind of like top off my calories for the day. I'll either have chips or I will have pistachios. So this is a huge bag of chips from Costco, super over the top, but it's just the kettle cooked sea salt. And per 1 ounce or 9 chips, which is literally nothing, you have 150 calories, so 9 fat, 15 carb, and 2 protein. Speaking of chips, I also eat tons of potatoes. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I eat tons of potatoes, tons of onions, stuff like that. God, it's like I completely blanked. And then pistachios. So I was just introduced to pistachios a couple months ago. I don't know why no one told me how great pistachios are, but they have so many calories for so little. So I pulled it up on my laptop because I don't have any packaging with me or anything because I just took this from my house. But for half a cup, you have 345 calories. This is one of the most calorically dense snacks that you can get that is actually pretty healthy. So I highly recommend if you do like nuts. This is the only nut that I really like. I only like peanuts when they're like in a butter form. So you have 28 grams of fat, usually about 17 carbs, and 13-ish grams of protein per half a cup of pistachios, which is kind of a lot, but to be honest, if I'm eating pistachios, I usually eat a lot of them because I'm trying to fill myself up, and chips are kind of like an empty food. So that is going to be it for me. If you guys did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Definitely share it with anyone who you think it may benefit. And if you have any questions about anything, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. If there are any foods that you recommend to anyone, or you have questions about anything that I talked about, obviously leave them in the comments and I will do my best to get back to you, and I'll see you in my next video. I love you. Bye.